Hey guys, this is Rusty again with Collector Auctions, and I have got another CGC unboxing for you. As you can see by the box that's sitting here on my lap, I've got this in today, and this was a work day for me, and I literally don't get back into the house until probably 2:30 in the morning. I have a late shift, and I was so excited to get this order back. It kind of represents a lot of what I'm trying to do in the hobby these days, which was pick up books that I love. A lot of 80s Marvel books for the most part, but there's DC sometimes in some of these orders as well, but this one was particularly a Marvel book, and it's got some X-Men in there and some Marvel Comics Presents and things like that. And it was books that I've been picking up from the Baltimore Comic-Con and a lot of the local shows, and it's actually representative of a lot of what's in my collection already. So it was one of those. I'm not sure if I've got any of my PC books in here. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd have to go back and check my records, but it's one of those that I know that if you watch my Baltimore Comic-Con video, you'll see, especially part 2, you'll see what I was looking for at the show. I had a very specific list. There was Fantastic Four I was looking for, certain Spider-Man, certain X-Men, and this particular order, for the most part, was a very X-Men heavy box. There's one book in here in particular that I am a super fan of. I've actually sent it in before, and I think got a 9.6 on it, and I'm really happy with it, but I would love to get a 9.8 on that. To tell you a little bit more about this order, all these books were books that, as I said, I picked up at the cons starting in the fall for the most part, and I cleaned and pressed every one of them myself. And I didn't put a pre-screen on this. This is a modern order. I felt like I did a really good job with all of these. So, and also I didn't look at the order online other than to check for the shipping, see if it was done, and when it shipped I resisted the urge to look at the order, see what the grades were and everything. I was very careful this time, and I wanted to get in here right after I got out of work. Like I said, it's literally after 3 in the morning right now, and instead of going to bed, I wanted to open this thing up, but I also wanted to film it so you guys will see my reaction to this. Just see my excitement or disappointment in what I felt like I did with the cleaning and pressing. I felt like I did a really good job. We'll see how I did. Now, to give you a little bit more data here, I mailed this order back in November. It was November 15th. They received it on the 19th. And I'm not sure exactly when it switched over to grading, encapsulation, and actually into the process. I don't have that exact date, but I do know that they mailed it back on the 22nd, and today's the 24th. Well, I guess it's technically the 25th. But it came back in on the 24th, so a couple days after they finished cleaning, or well, not cleaning, but encapsulating. They got it out, and I got it back in just a couple of days. I use FedEx. I have my own account, so I feel a lot more comfortable with that. I have my own insurance on the collectibles, so I know that with FedEx, because we have to sign for these things, that they are protected. That's one of the reasons I use FedEx instead of United States Postal Office. I felt like it was a better, just a better option. But sorry, I'm going down different roads here. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to actually open this thing up and see what we got. Now, it looks like I've got a little help here. This is Lucky, everybody. This is actually my wife's cat, but really he's mine. But he's looks like he wants to help out here. So we'll see how he does with this. All right, let's get into the box. Let's see what we did, and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm going to try not to look at the grades as I'm doing this. I'm pretty tired after work and everything. It was a long shift and everything, so I will try not to spoil anything. Maybe I'll turn it around. I'll just pull it out here. All right. Here, hop down. Here, hop down. Hop down. Hop down. Just knocking my table over here a little bit. All right. What we got here is we have X-Men 212. I think I've got a couple of these in here. And I would have to admit, I'm already starting to look at this, and the grade I've got on this is, you know, I'm not surprised by what I'm seeing here, but because I can see all kinds of reversion back to some defects on here. I can see creases all over the cover here, so not off to a good start here, but we got a 9.0 on X-Men 212. Let me fix the table a little bit. So as I said, not off to a good start, and maybe we'll learn some lessons here. We'll learn how the cleaning and pressing was doing. We'll see how if some of these defects that I felt like I had taken care of have come back. And this one right here is a perfect example. I feel like it's already reverted back. I wouldn't have sent it in with all those little spine creases down here. It's definitely a candidate to be cleaned and pressed again. Although it's not a lot of value in this book, even at a 9.6, 9.4, but it definitely could use a bump on that. So okay, so we started with that one. All right, here's the second copy of this, 212. And this one I didn't look at prematurely, so you get to see it when I see it. And what do we get? Got a 9.4 on there. So that wasn't too bad. Not a lot of value in this. I didn't do a pre-screen on this, and I know some of the later orders that I did, I definitely did pre-screens to protect myself a little bit like this. So this probably would have been benefited from having that protection on here. But we didn't do it on this one, so we'll go with what we got. So we got a 9.4 and a second 212. It's a beautiful cover, Barry Windsor Smith artwork. I love that. All right, we have X-Men 213, and I know I've got a few copies of this one as well. The table's falling here. Okay, so what do we have? We got a 9.2 on that. Let's take a quick look and see if I can see anything. That one definitely looks a lot better. Definitely see a crease there. Yeah, already I can tell you that I think I'm going to have to revise a little bit of my cleaning and pressing process. I think we're going to end up having to maybe not rush these out quite as fast. That's my immediate takeaway right now, is that we clean and press these things and we let them sit. We try not to just rush them out the door, because they do sit there at CGC for an awful long time. And it looks like we've had some reversion back a little bit. So we've got a 9.2 on that one. All right, and we got another copy of 213. And let's see what we got on that one. Got another 9.4. These were actually in pretty good shape, and I felt like all of these were great candidates to really bump up to a 9.6, if not even 9.8 in some of these. So we got 9.4, and I think I've got another one of that one as well. But if not, we'll find out. But I've got multiple copies of this one as well. This is X-Men 256, the Jim Lee book. It's my favorite Jim Lee X-Men book. Oh wow, look at that. Oh my god. So wow, this is great. This is fantastic. I can't believe it. 9.8 on there. I have been wanting, if you watch one of my last videos on CGC unboxings, I might have even had one of these in here, but I talked about this book and how I got it 9.6 on one of my first copies I'd sent in the CGC. Like, wow, this is what I wanted. This one stays in the PC. This was, as I said, my favorite Jim Lee X-Men book. This rendition, when they changed Psylocke over in this issue to a very different character, just absolutely fell in love with that character. Beautiful. Wow. Wow. So, as much as I was disappointed on those first few, that right there, I mean, it almost makes the order worth it at this point. All right, let's continue on. Oh, here's another copy of 213. As I said, I'm just looking and picking up books here. So this is the third copy of this. And what do we get? Got a 9.0. Man, this is really, they're really hurting me on these. So 9.0 on that. That's really disappointing. These are really I'm gonna have to look at these and see what the graders' notes have to say. And I tell you that this right here, all three of these copies, even this one, is much better than the first one that I had sent in. That was my own PC copy, and it had some major color rub on the back, and it got a 9.2. And I'm telling you that 9.0 right there was much better than the one that I had previously gotten. All right, we got a second 256. We're going to see this book a lot because I think I had maybe 6 copies of this in this order. But what do we have? Got a 9.4 on that one. I tell you, we are all over the place today. So we got a 9.4 on that one. And one of the other lessons I'm going to talk about right now is that these books, you really do need to get 9.8s on this. You may be able to get away with 9.6s on some of these to have value on it if you're thinking about reselling them. And I didn't protect myself on this. I don't know the reasoning at the time. I felt like my ability to clean and press was good enough to get these up to a 9.4 or a 9.6 at the very least. And so right now this is a little bit of a fail so far. Lessons learned so far. All right, here's another 256, and we got a 9.6 on there. So that's actually still pretty good. But we got a 9.6 on that one. Let's try to stop looking at these as I'm looking down. And then we have a issue number 211. So I had 11, 12, and 13 of that. Okay. Which hand is it? It's this hand. Got a 9.6 on there. That's actually pretty good on that. Wasn't honestly the biggest fan of these frames that they did back in the day. I think they could have had a better artist do some of that, but they are very popular to collect. A lot of people do it. I always like the Thor version with Walt Simonson's Thor on the cover of this. Cover of Thor with that frame. But 9.6 on that's not bad. Alright, we got another 256. I'm looking away, looking away. Okay. What do we got? Got another 9.4. Man. Now it's going to be interesting to read the notes, see what ended up happening on these. All right. I don't even know which number of book this is. This is 256. I don't know if probably up to 4 or 5 of these so far. Okay, we got 9.6. All right, so we're doing pretty good on some of these 9.6s on there. Now, the idea behind all this is that there's going to be some I'm going to keep for the PC. Most I'm going to try to sell to help pay for the grading fees and everything like that, and kind of help pay for continuing buying books in and adding to the collection, and buying more books to invest in to resell. I mean, it's kind of an ongoing thing, and you trying to make the hobby pay for itself and then some. So, all right. Who knows? This might be the last 256. We'll see. We'll see what we did on this one too. You ready? Hey, we got another 9.8 on there. So, doing pretty good on those right there. Who knows? That's really nice to be able to get one of those, because I'll definitely be able to sell one of those now at a pretty decent price to help pay for some of this order, because I'm going to tell you that those ones that are 9.0s and 9.2s, or even some of those 9.4s, are basically, I'm not gonna. I'll probably make a little bit of money if I sell those, but it won't make as much as I would have liked. Obviously, I'd like to get higher grades. We'll go from there. All right, I'm not looking, but oh, here we go. So we've got Marvel Comics Presents number 72. This is the Weapon X program #1. Barry Windsor Smith. Love this issue. This is the money book out of that run of his, and I don't know if I've got 2 copies in here. I don't know which copy these are. I know they may be both PC, but I think they are both PC. I had sent both of these in earlier. I thought they were super clean to begin with, and I sent them in and no clean and press. I thought they were 9.8 candidates. They came back ungraded because I had put it into a pre-screen 9.8 order. They came back, and so I gave them a clean and press myself. I thought I got them up to that grade, but let's see what we did. All right, we got a 9.6 on there. So that's actually not bad. It's not bad. So we'll take a look at the notes on this one. We'll see what they have to say with it. I can't say that I'm surprised, but hey, you want that 9.8, especially on that book. All right, what do we have next? All right, we have the second copy that I have in this order. Now, this is Wolverine, but technically I guess it's not an X-Men book. So I've got, the rest of them are all X-Men books. All right, what do we get? What do we get? Oh my God, we got a 9.8. Oh my God, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. It's going to be hard not to want to keep this one. I'll have to see how much value is on that 9.6, but man, that is really nice. That right there is another win out of this. So we're not doing great, but we're not getting skunked either. All right. All right, I've got 1 copy of this in this order, and I might have sent this one in already as a part of a pre-screen too. I can't remember, but this is X-Men number 24. It's got the Andy Kubert artwork, classic Rogue and Gambit cover there, and I think it's the only real significance of this book. If I'm wrong on that, just let me know. But let's see what we got. 9.6. Okay. Not sure what the problem was. There might have been a little spine crease on this one. I've had multiple of these, and I think I've submitted several that have not come back yet. That's the first one I've gotten that's not come back. That has come back. All right, we've got another X-Men 213. And as you can tell, I bought multiple copies of a lot of these, and I wasn't spending tons of, well, I was spending tons of money, but I was spending tons of money on a lot of books. A lot of these X-Men. I bought a lot of Spider-Man, a lot of Fantastic Four, some Avengers, just classic 80s, some or 90s books from that time period. And I was looking at the values. It's like, if you can get those 9.6s, 9.8s, they're actually pretty valuable. But you need to get those grades, and I felt like at this point I could get some of these up here. Now, obviously I've gotten some of these up here, and some of these are a fail, and I don't know if that's, as I said, I don't know if that's an indication of my abilities or the relapse of some of these that have reverted back, and I'll have to address that. All right, so we got another one of these, and we ended up a 9.2. Man, they are just hammering me in this. I mean, it presents so much nicer than a 9.2. Well, we're going to end up giving it another shot, because this last weekend I ended up picking up 2 more copies of that particular issue. All right, I've got 1 copy of this. This is X-Men 164, the first appearance of Carol Danvers as, was that Binary? Was that her name? Or Warbird? I never can remember which one's the first. But anyway, that was her first appearance as that particular incarnation at that point. And this is not my personal copy. I think I've got my own personal copy from when I was growing up, and I bought that issue. I think that's still in there as a candidate to be pressed. This one right here is one that I picked up, and I I know I didn't spend too much on this, but let's see what we did. 9.4. Well, that's going to be interesting. I mean, I can see one spine tick, so I knew this wasn't going to be a 9.8, so I was hoping for maybe a 9.6, but maybe a little soft corner rubbed in there. But 9.4 is not horrible. Alright, what do we have here? Alright, I've got multiple copies of this one. This is X-Men 205. This is another classic Barry Windsor Smith Wolverine cover and interiors. In fact, I like this issue's art, interior art, even better than I did with his work in the Marvel Comics Presents that I just showed you. And love this. It has appearances by, I think, was it Katie from the Power Packs in this, and yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful issue. All right, so we got that there, and let's see how we did on this one. Got a 9.2. I think we got an overall thing going on here. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. In future orders, as I said, I protected myself with pre-screens, and you know, we could have some interesting orders come back in with some of these books where I may have set the pre-screen too high. I did that to protect myself because the price return on those just kind of drops off the cliff, and I didn't want to get them graded if it was going to drop off, and maybe I should have done that, as I said earlier, with this order. All right, so we got another 205. Let's see what we did on this one. Got another 9.2. Interesting. Well, I'm thinking that one of the things is I didn't have a lot invested in any of these books too much, so that was always nice. All right, we got another 205. Let's see what we did. Wow, really? A 7.5? What the blankety blank was going on with that one? Man, you may talk about dropping off the cliff. That just fell off the cliff. There's a PC book, guys, because no one's going to want that. I guess I want that. All right. Luckily, like I said, I didn't pay like. I was paying like $5 a piece, if any of these, and I still have my PC versions of these books that, you know, are all in great shape. It's just I hadn't gotten around to pulling them out of the collection when I started on buying a lot of these books back in October, November. These are all from mostly, I guess, September and October. All right, another 205. We'll see what we did on this one. Got an 8.5. Okay. All right. It is what it is. I'm not, at this point, overall, I'm going to be very disappointed. I'm really happy with those 9.8s that I've gotten so far. A lot of the 9.6s are going to be really acceptable as well. But I'm going to have to chalk this one up as a fail, as an overall order. We'll learn from it. 211, another copy of that. Let's see what we did on there. Another 9.4. Now we'll see what we do, what the notes say. We'll go from here. All right, I think I've got one more 211. And we got a 9.6 on there, so that's not too bad right there. All right. All right, 2 more books left. We have one more 213. As I said, I had 4s and 5s and 6s of some of these issues. So sorry that it's boring that I've got the same issues every time, but the grades are what I'm finding interesting on all of these. So let's see what we did on this one. Got another 9.0. Man, they are really tough on this issue. This is going to be my white elephant to eventually get this as a 9.8 at some point. You know, I keep going to shows. It's on the list. As I said, the last show I went to, I ended up picking up 2 more copies of that to work on. And when I take it back into the shop, we'll have to look at the techniques again to see what's going on. See if I can... Maybe it's... Instead of doing a quick press, I'm leaving it into the cold press a lot longer. Maybe that'll help on the reversion to some of the creases that I at least saw in that very first one I pulled out. All right, last book. It's got one more copy of 205, and let's see how we did. Got a 9.2. So 205 was a complete washout on this order. 213 was not that far behind. 211 did pretty good. Not great, but you know, we got at least a 9.6 out of that. But right now, the big winners right now, this right here was the big book in this order. They got that 9.8. Super happy about that. Oops. Don't want to crack the case. And getting 2 9.8s on X-Men 256. So I am super happy with this right here. One of these is for sale. One of these is going to stay in the PC. I'm super happy right there. I'll have to pick out which one I like better. But anyway, guys, that is it. That is the video for today. Sorry for these longer videos. I know the last one I did ended up going way too long. It was a big comic book haul. I'm going to try to keep, other than these CGC unboxings, which are going to be 25 books in just about every order. I think what I'm going to do on the other ones is I probably will try to break these videos down into much shorter videos, so you don't have to sit here all day and watch them and everything. It was a comic book haul video, and I had visited some LCSs, and I had some big keys that I wanted to talk about, and next thing I know, we've got a video that was 45 minutes long, and I know you guys don't want to sit around all day and listen to me just ramble on and everything. So I'm going to try to start making the videos a little bit shorter. Again, other than these CGC unboxings, most of these times I want to talk about each of these books, talk about my excitement, my disappointment, and they're all going to average probably in this 25 to almost 30-minute video. So just give me a heads up right there. So guys, that is it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you for the next one. Take care.